What's going on, guys? Welcome to NBA Power Rankings, a snowy outside Power Rankings. Haven't done it in about a month, so it's about time we update the Power Rankings. As you can tell by our tiers, we have see you in June. That means you're a finals contender. May see in June. Get it? May, see, June. You get the joke. Maybe if they make trades or a trade, 500 Demons, bad but in a fun way, and then the pit of despair at the bottom. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoy the video. Like I said, it's snowing outside, guys. That is horrific. I actually hate it outside. I'm dreading that I'm going to have to go shovel in like an hour maybe. Let's get to the tier list, though. I want to forget that part. Where do I want to start? I want to start at the back, pause. But I'm going to put the Wizards in bad, but in a fun way. Because recently they've played some alright games. Over the last 2 weeks, they've had a couple of games with the Nuggets that they've managed to keep close. I know Jokic isn't playing, but the Nuggets are still a pretty good team without Jokic, it appears. So the Wizards have managed to keep it close with them. The Wizards kept it close with Charlotte. The Wizards kept it close with, who was the other team? There was another team in there. It doesn't really matter. They've managed to keep it close with a couple of teams recently. I'm kind of proud of them. Of course, their goal really isn't to win it all right now. It's to get another lottery pick because, I mean, you could see that with the Trae Young injury. They basically just told Trae Young, we traded for you. We're not really that urgent to have you play, though, so sit back and relax. I'm very proud of the young guys they got. Alex Sarr has taken a step. Bub Carrington is getting better. Is all I'm going to say, because he started out terrible, like actually terrible. It's gotten better, but Trey Johnson's had his moments. AJ Johnson's even had his moments, even though he doesn't consistently get burned. But Trey Johnson has been a flamethrower for them. They've been fun to watch, I'll say. The Brooklyn Nets are going to go in pit of despair. You could argue bad, but in a fun way, because they did have that double OT thriller against the Celtics. But 2 out of their last 3 games, they've lost by 30 plus. You know, that's not great. I'll come out right. You know, that's a hot take, but you're losing by 30 plus 2 out of their last 3 games. That ain't great. They've also lost 11 out of their last 12. Some of the young guys who took steps up are kind of going back to their norms, and you're not sure what you're going to get out of them right now. Zaire Williams has been a very tough defender recently, so I'm going to give some props to him. Because he's averaging, in the month of January, they showed a graphic, he's averaging like 2.5 steals. He was full court pressing against the Celtics like all game. Was a very pesky, annoying defender. Who else do I got to give props to on their team? Noah Clowney, he's played relatively well as well. They've got a couple of guys that have been hooping. Yegor, of course, is always involved, but they're getting walloped more times than not recently, so they're getting put in the pit of despair. We're just going to get the bads out of the way. You know what? Screw it. The Kings, you're going in the pit of despair. And I like that they've played their young guys more recently. That's made me kind of happy, watching a Kings game and not seeing a Levine, DeRozan, a Schroeder-led lineup. I like seeing Nick Clifford out there. I like seeing Maxime Reynaud get the ball more, even though Sabonis is back and coming off the bench. I like seeing, Carter get some PT. Like, I like watching their young guys. Who's the Dylan Cardwell? Like, they have some young guys that I enjoy watching. The issue is that they're flooded with vets getting paid a ton of money. You can't just sit them, On Zach LaVine's deal, it's hard to just sit him, even though Doug Christie's done it in the second half of games a couple of times. The Kings are a really hard team to be optimistic about right now. I try my best because, like I said, Maxime Reynaud looks like a draft hit. He looks like they hit on a pick. But they have Sabonis right now. What do you do with that? I don't know. That's another issue, is that a lot of their young guys that are coming up are positionally blocked by other players. Nick Clifford is a wing. He's blocked by DeRozan, Levine, Keegan Murray even though Keegan's been in and out. Kind of just positional blocked, a lot of them, but I like that they're getting the ability to play with vets. Don't get me wrong, like Cardwell caught that lob from Russ. That's a fun moment, He gets to learn a little bit from Russ, too. What a good PG would do in certain spots and where to be and stuff like that. So it's nice to see their young guys getting more PT, but I don't know. It's still not enough for me to really enjoy watching on a nightly basis. Utah Jazz, they've also been getting walloped recently. They've had some issues getting their ass beat. They've had a couple of competitive games, and Jusuf Nurkic has been the shining star, apparently. The one thing I will say about Jusuf Nurkic is that I don't think he's ever been a very bad offensive player. The issue is the other side of the court. He can't defend worth fuck. He's not really a great rim protector, but what he is a really good screen setter, a pretty good passer at his size, and a good rebounder. Nurkic has a couple of flaws in his game, don't get me wrong, but if he's a backup 5-man on your team, you're in a really good spot. I think that they should look to move him eventually. Should be soon. Now, I was going to make a video on NBA trade stuff, but we're not going to get one because of fucking Giannis. Giannis is ruining trade season. So is John Horst. He's in that same boat. They are ruining trade season. Bucks fans, your team is ruining trade season. Either way, back to the Jazz. At least Ace Bailey's getting more PT. He had a crazy nice dunk. He had 20 in that game, like 23 in that game. He had a pretty decent night. He's had a couple of pretty decent games recently, too. So it's nice to see that your young guys kind of getting off and getting onto the court more, at least in general, but overall, they're getting walloped a lot. Yusuf Nurkic logged his third straight triple-double in that game, their last game, and I believe they were down 20+. So little shameless stat pad, never went any, it never did nobody harm. Indiana, pit of despair. Nothing really changes, even though they've been more competitive recently. I can move them up a bad in a fun way, but I don't know. I'm still not having fun. Like, they randomly, I think they beat OKC, or at least I think they beat OKC, but then they get walloped by the Celtics, they get walloped by the Pistons. Really up and down team, and it really is dependent on whether their guards can get it going, or Jay Huff in general really helps unlock the offense. If Jay Huff has a 15+ point game, it feels like them as a team are very reliant on whether Jay Huff can hit his shots, and that's not a great place to be at. They've gotten thumped, but they've stayed in some games. They're getting put in the pit of despair, though, because I just don't think they're that good of a team, even though they did beat OKC. Pelicans, pit of despair. I could put them in the same. I could put them up one maybe, because they do have some fun players. Trey Murphy, Zion, even Jeremiah Fears is fun. Sadiq Bey gets off every once in a while for a big quarter. The Pelicans are an interesting team. I just don't have general interest in them. I don't know. They are not a fun team to watch. They're 4-6 over the last 10. Like, they're moderately competitive. I could move them up just because of the Zion factor. I will move them up just because of the Zion factor. Fuck it. Why not? Zion makes them fun to watch, and the fact that he's been healthy has been a treat, even though the team stinks. It's nice to see the one guy who's never been healthy be healthy. Even if it's just for one season, I'll take what I can get. Xanos, even though they just canceled his signature shoe line after their next drop. I think it's the Zion 4s or whatever. They're done with Zion shoes. I forgot he had a shoe. Doesn't really matter. Pelicans are a mid team, but I'm counting them as fun because they've stayed in some games, and Zion being healthy makes them a little bit more interesting. Where do we want to go from here? I'll put the Rockets in. I think they need to make some moves. I think they're a really decent team, and what gives them the advantage and kind of the benefit of the doubt in my mind is the fact that they have rebounding, crazy rebounding, and defense. That's stuff that is always there. But what they can't rely on their offense for shit. There's some nights where they look like they can piece together offensively. If Amen is cutting well and Eason's hitting his shots, then you're really getting something. But they sometimes rely on Jabari Smith a lot, which is a scary thought in a playoff series. Struggle with the exact thing that we thought they would struggle with coming into the season. They don't have a table setter, a playmaker, a guy leading the charge that, knows where to get guys and knows what play to run and simple shit like that. They just don't have that right now. And that's why I say they need to make trades or adjust a singular trade. Dude, Tyus Jones would change their lives. Like, I know Tyus Jones is on the Magic. He's doing fine. He's not leaving. But, like, Trey Jones would help save their life at this point. It would change their lives, really, because they are such a good team all around, except for the one glaring weakness. But again, like I said, their defense and their toughness and rebounding will really keep them in games regardless of whether they're playing well offensively or not. My Boston Celtics, I think it's clear we belong down there. I don't know if any East team, it may just be the Pistons up top in the East. The East is fucking mid. Go watch my last video. I talked about the Eastern Conference and just how mid they all are. But I'm putting the Celtics down because, like, they've had some really bad games recently. I believe over their last, 10, they might be 6-4. They might be 5-5, actually. I think they might be 5-5 after Kevin Huerter, the local guy, my local guy. He's probably got snow around the house he grew up at. He just hit a dagger game winner. He actually hit a game winner with .2 left from the corner. Yeah, I wouldn't say the Celtics are putting their best foot forward recently. It's been kind of a step back. It's been an over-reliance on Jaylen Brown isolation. The team's not moving as much as they were. Guys like Hugo, guys like Walsh are not creating off the dribble like they once were. It makes them way more dangerous. I know this is going to sound wild when you have a Jordan Walsh taking someone off the dribble here and there. Revelation's really been Luka Garza recently. I mean, he's been fantastic recently. I know Hugo hit the game-tying three against the Nets and stuff like that, but I would still like him to be more aggressive with the ball rather than just stand in corner and wait for JB to pass the ball. You know, I think that's been a kind of an issue for them, is the fact that they're over-reliant on the isolation right now, and the fact that their other role players aren't getting the ball unless it's literally just to shoot it. So Derek White not being there hurts, don't get me wrong, but even when he is there, he's been ass. I mean, he's been terrible shooting the ball. It's a really weird team, and you see Jason Tatum dunking, and that makes me as a Celtics fan very happy, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if he's coming back this year. Even if he is, it's like they still need to make some moves. There's a centers. They need a center. They need another center. Amari Williams started at center for them yesterday, I believe, against the Bulls, or 2 days ago. Amari Williams, he was undrafted, I'm pretty sure. Like, they need center play desperately. They need another Queta type of guy who can protect the rim, because I love Luka Garza, and there's a place for Luka Garza on this team, but not at this moment, not with the defense struggling like it has. The Hornets suck, but in a fun way. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put them there. Charles Barkley, guaranteed they'd make the play-in. Real exciting bet there, Chuck. They're a fun team. Like, Brandon Miller's been hooping recently, and I love to see that. I think Brandon Miller's probably, if I had to bet money, I'd say he's averaging a dub in January, a smooth 20. He's been really good, and LaMelo coming off the bench hasn't really hurt them. They haven't been, like, horrible since then. Knepel's taken over and been super efficient. The Hornets are just a solid-ass team that just loses. That's the Hornets, is a solid team that just loses. They find a way to lose. They pull defeat out of the jaws of victory. The Warriors are going to go in there as well. They need to make moves. It's pretty clear, pretty abundantly clear to anybody watching. With Jimmy down, it leaves them in a bad spot. Like, the worst spot they've maybe ever been in as a team, I would say. Like, this is comparable to the 2020 team right now. They're mid, like, painfully bad. I could put them down to 500 Demons, but I think with trades, they're actually like right back to being a decent team. If they ship Jimmy Butler's contract, which I think Mike Dunleavy said probably not happening, you know, that would help out a lot. Or, you know, anybody. They need anybody. Vucevic would help. Kevin Huerter would help. Guys would help with the Warriors right now, but it's unfortunate that Mike Dunleavy's just kind of sitting and chilling. A center would genuinely change their life. They don't need that many guards. They have 9 guards, bro. Spencer, Curry, Moody, Pajemski's a guard. I'll count it. Gary Payton II's a guard that doesn't really play guard. Buddy Hield's a wing that's more of a 2. They have a De'Anthony Melton. Did I say De'Anthony Melton? That's like 7 guards. How about we shift and get someone big? Quentin Post is shit-talking Joe Ingles for no reason. I don't know. They thumped the Wolves yesterday. Good for them. But overall, I don't sit back and think to myself, yeah, this Warriors team is going to rip off some wins and prove they're a contender. They're actually, in my mind, right now, more likely to fall out of the play-in. Bulls are 500 Demons as per usual. It's what Jerry Reinsdorf wants, a 500-ass team. We are helping, the Celtics helped them yesterday by losing that game, because all is right when the Bulls are 500. All right, that's just where they want to sit at, all right? Jerry has a big plan for this roster, and it's nothing. There is no plan. There's nothing here. I'm not sure exactly how to feel about the Bulls besides negatively. I don't know if there's anything positive to take away from this. They should be sellers soon. Goodbye Kobe White. Goodbye Ayo Dosunmu. Goodbye Nikola Vucevic. Goodbye Kevin Huerter. Goodbye Patrick Williams if possible. Patrick Williams, DFA, I don't know, wave, stretch and wave. Yeah, the Bulls are painfully mid as per usual. I mean, the Galaxy is perfectly in line when the Bulls are 500 because that's just where they belong. Detroit's going to go up to see you in June. They look like the only team in the East that really has a chance. Cleveland's ripped off some decent wins recently, but Detroit really has been like the only team to consistently impress this year. Detroit's the only team that I really have faith in the Eastern Conference to like at least maybe put up a fight in the finals. You know, get 2 hands up and maybe cover up for a round or 2. Go the Jake Paul route and just start diving at legs. You know, I think Detroit has a real chance, well, the best chance to make the finals. From there, hands up, I don't think they have a shot really, but who knows? Maybe. Where can I go next? Orlando, 500 Demons. What is happening? Genuinely, what is happening? Jamal Mosley, I'm starting to look at you, buddy. I'm looking at you like Dexter, you know. I think the Orlando Magic are painfully average, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Is it they've been injured? Don't get me wrong. Suggs has missed time. Banchero's missed time. Wagner's missed time. Both Wagners have missed time. Like, yeah, I get it. Now they're just, I think they're pretty close to fully healthy, and they're just mid. They are another team that will pull defeat from the jaws of victory. These motherfuckers got thumped by the Hornets, and then I think they lost to the Cavs too. Painful losses. I mean, they lose the easy games. They lose easy games. They lose to the Hornets. They lose to the Wizards. They'll lose to the Pacers. They'll fucking lose to any bad team. Good teams come, they start to put up more of a fight, but they still end up losing. This is a real team that's like not bad enough to be like a top pick team, but not good enough to really make noise, in my opinion. They're just painfully average, and they could fuck around and end up in the play-in game, wildly enough. I like all their player development that they've had. Like, Anthony Black has looked pretty good this season, all things considered. But like, that's about it. Tristan DeSilva's looked all right. I'll give TDS some credit, but my God, are they painfully average. You know what? The Bucks are going in pit of despair. I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. John Horst, what the fuck? This is a car wreck. This is a car wreck in Milwaukee, right? They can't beat anyone. I mean, they're fighting their way out of the paper bag right now. They can't do it. Giannis is out now, 4 to 6 calf strain. He announced it himself that it's over. It's over. And again, like I said before, we are getting 0 trades this mid-season mark because of John Horst. Because of John Horst, we aren't getting any trades because him and Giannis won't come to an agreement that it's probably best for them to part ways. It always has been. It's just, this shit is genuinely annoying me. That we are going to get no trades because every team is sitting on their hands and waiting for a Giannis trade request, which may or may not come in general. The team isn't great. KPJ is mid as hell. Their whole team is mid as hell, except for like Ryan Rollins, who's, I guess, better than mid. I don't know. There's nobody on this team that I really look at and go, yeah, you can build around them after Giannis is gone. If they were to trade Giannis, they need to get some pieces back. And it needs to be quick, too, because the guy's 31 years old, and they are not winning. I mean, we all say the championship window. That window has been closed, locked, and then sealed with fucking Tyvek tape right over the top. It's over. You can trade Giannis and let's get on with our lives, dude. It's over. It's over. Either that or trade for Ja Morant and then wipe your hand. The Grizzlies aren't even going to trade Ja Morant. Where are the fucking Grizzlies? Right here. They're bad, but no, they're 500. They're closer to a 500 demon. They are bad. You know what? They're going in bad, but in a fun way. I don't know how else to describe it, but I still enjoy watching Grizzlies games, even though they are mid. Ja's back, and Ja's looked all right. Like, even though they lost a game with him the other day, he had like 20 and 10 or whatever, 18 and 10 or something. He is not bad when he's able to play and locked in, and when he's not fighting Vince Williams. With Edey on the floor, the Grizzlies are a completely different team, and I think that's kind of what's causing this crumble with the Grizzlies is the fact that Edey's just not there. They looked really, really good with Zach Edey on the floor but like right now it's Jock Landale, and I like Jock Landale. I think Jock Landale should be traded at midseason to a team that needs competitive center play because he can shoot and he helps out a little bit. But with Zach Edey on the floor, they're a completely different team. Unfortunately, Edey ain't there, and it's led them. I mean, they're starting fucking Cam Spencer here and there. Santi Aldama is their most valuable player by win shares, I think, right now. Wild. So, you know, the Grizzlies are in a really weird spot. I think Josh should be gone, but I don't think they're going to. They said they're more than comfortable keeping him. So, it is what it is, dude. We might get nothing at the deadline, and that's going to be depressing as hell. 500 Demons, yeah, they're going to end up in the play-in probably again. They'll get hot. I mean, they're 3 games under right now. They're going to get hot, win 3 straight, get back to 500, then go, you know, they play 500 ball. That's where they are. That's where they belong. That's where they will always be is 500. The Hawks are going to the play-in. That's about it. The Hawks and the Heat and the Bulls. And who's going to be the 4th team in the play-in, guys? Take your pick. I don't know. Orlando? I have no idea. The Hawks are a fun team, too, because I believe they are one of those rare teams that has a better road record than home record. That's interesting. Bucks have struggled, obviously, internally because, like, they don't have any size without Porzingis. This has been well documented. I've talked about it on this channel before, but, like, they don't win the rebounding battle ever. They have to rely on making all of their threes, basically, because they can't defend inside the arc because they don't have a rim protector. Onyeka's a great player, but he's not really a rim protector like that. Porzingis has HPV. I don't know. He can't play, so that's tough. They have no size for rebounding anyways. They struggle at everything defensively right now, and there's just no way for them to get past that. Trae Young, with or without, is not helping the fact that their defense is just not good. Cavaliers, I'm going to put them in maybe if they make some trades. The reason is that they've ripped off some wins recently. They've looked pretty damn good recently. They're kind of climbing the standings again, going back to where we thought they should be in the top half of the conference, where they belong, right? They finally put it together. Darius Garland still isn't playing, I don't think, but like their bench has started to come along. Jalen Tyson, you know what my favorite time of the game is in Cleveland? I don't care about when they shoot t-shirt cannons or when, Mobley's doing his thing or Donovan Mitchell's getting loose. I want Tomlin time. Naquan fucking Tomlin. That guy subs into a game. He can be a -8. It's the most electric -8 you will ever see. It's very Stromile Swift. Stromile Swifty. It's Quincy AC type, except Quincy AC could shoot. But it's like, I'm going to dunk this ball, and even if we're down 12, I'm yelling my fucking lungs out. Naquan Tomlin is a hell of a player. Jalen Tyson's obviously incredible. I've mentioned that before, but like their bench has shown up to play recently. Craig Porter gives them good minutes here and there. Like they've had some good bench minutes. Sam Merrill has played good basketball. Salute Sam Merrill. He's hooping. I think Sam Merrill's averaging like 13 a game, which is way higher than I thought it would be. Either way, Toronto. I'm gonna put them in maybe if they make some trades. I don't know. Everyone in the East is going to go here except the Pistons, it's starting to look like, because I have no confidence in any of these people. Should I move the Celtics up? Probably not, man. I don't know. The Raptors, you know what? Call me crazy. Toronto's moving up. They have multiple shot creators. That's what gives them the kind of advantage against, over the Celtics in my mind. I know the Celtics, I think, beat them, but either way, the Raptors have more shot creators. Manuel Quickley, when he's off, is fun to watch. Grady's been getting off recently. Dick been getting off. Real as fuck right there. But like Scotty Barnes had a great game yesterday against the Thunder. They steal a win there against the Thunder. That was a really good win. Scotty Barnes, man, that block on Chet Holmgren. So many good defensive plays last night from Scotty Barnes. He is such a great defensive player. He only put up like 13, 14 points, but that shit doesn't matter when you're having the impact it does defensively. He's like Draymond Green, except if he could score the fucking basketball. Just believe in the Raptors' defense. I think Scotty also got the offensive rebound after Shed missed late in the game. Like, Scotty Barnes was checking every box last night, as always. As always, that guy checks boxes. Brandon Ingram struggled. I said it the other day. The late game offense should be running through Scotty Barnes, and I still don't think I'm wrong. Toronto has a great defense that's moving well right now. Colin Murray-Boyles, when he's back, I think it's only like a short-term injury. He just missed a game. Colin Murray-Boyles, home run pick. Home run 5 stars pick. I don't know if he's a full-time 5-man, but he's shown so far that he probably is. And they probably won't trade for a center at the deadline because of that. Hopefully Pirtle comes back. I think he got some injections or something like that. Hopefully Pirtle comes back soon, but Colin Murray-Boyles has done a really good job filling in. Sandro has been hooping. That West Coast trip, Sandro was hitting different. That was weird. Who was it that landed on Sandro's shoulder yesterday? I forget who it was. I think it was Lou Dort. Yeah, it was Lou Dort. Ride 'em Cowboy. Shout out to Dragon Ball Z. Dallas Maverick. You know what? Denver Nuggets, see you in June. If they keep up this win pace without Jokic, it's something else. It's good to see, if anything. If nothing else, it is fun to see. Peyton Watson going off. Jamal Murray becoming he's always been an all-star caliber guy, but he hasn't really shown it. Consistently in the regular season, that is. But, now you're starting to see him fully blossom into an elite point guard, and it's fun to watch. They got guys out there hooping that were not supposed to be factors this year. Jalen Pickett, I mean, yeah, he was going to be a factor. He's the backup point guard. But, Jalen Pickett's showing out. Tim Hardaway Jr. is having big games. Aaron Gordon's back. He's always been good. Aaron Gordon's always been good. But, Zeke Naji showing some signs. They are Spencer Jones, of course. They have so many guys that are just showing out in absence of Jokic, and I just love to see it. Shout out to Coach Adelman, too. It would have been easy to fold in the cards and be like, well, Jokic is out, we're fucked. No, Coach Adelman got them boys ready, and they play well. The Thunder are going up there, too, obviously. Yeah, they haven't been as great recently, but, like, I still believe in them. I still believe in them over most teams. They play elite defense, and they score when they need to. You know, that's the Thunder. They just don't have a center right now without Hartenstein. They're relying on a lot of Chet Holmgren, PT at the 5. And while Chet's not a bad player, I just don't think he's a full-time 5 because he's not a great rebounder. The Clippers. I think there's some moves to be made for them, but they've been surging. So I theoretically I could put them up one more, and I don't think I would feel bad about it. Should I do it? No, their record's still bad. They're getting closer to 500, but they've ripped off so many wins recently. They're like 15-2 in their last 17. One of those losses was to my Celtics. Feel a little bit proud. But the Clippers have been on this unreal tear recently. So I have to give them props where it's due. They're going to be the only sub-500 team that's going to be up in the top 3 rows. But that's just because they played so well recently. And aimbot's on fire. Kawhi Leonard. You know, they're getting good production from the young guys. Ty Lue is playing the young guys. Kobe Brown, Kobe Sanders. Who's the other one? Yannick Niederhauser's getting PT. They have the young guys playing. Jordan Miller's getting PT. Like, they're playing the young guys. Thank God they needed it. The Clippers, shout out to Ty Lue for making that adjustment, playing the young guys more when they clearly deserved it. The only shitty part is with them winning games again, I don't think Zubac is a trade candidate anymore, which sucks for somebody like me who wanted him on my favorite team. So if you're a Raptors fan or yeah, I don't know who else would have wanted him, a Warriors fan, like, sorry, you're not getting Zubac. Lakers, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to put them, you know what? I'll give them benefit of the doubt. They have no Austin Reeves right now, and I'll assume Austin Reeves coming back will make them better. It's a bold assumption, but, you know, not that bold. The guy's averaging like 28 when he's healthy. I know they don't play well against 500 teams. I probably should move them down to here, probably. But, like, I don't know. They have the guys, you know. They have that upper end talent that just kind of makes you believe. If you look at all these teams here, in this row of they can if they make trades, the Lakers have the best players here. Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves are better than Aimbot and Harden, better than probably Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. I'll leave them here. I'll put them on the upper end of it just to kind of make it a reference, but I'll leave them there because I still think that there's holes in the roster, perimeter defending, and a big man. That's about it. A big man, because DeAndre Ayton is weak as shit again. Miami Heat, they do it again, man. They rip off some wins. They rip off some losses. They end up right back at 500. Universe is perfectly in line when the Miami Heat are 500. Man, Jaime Jaquez showed out yesterday. He had a great game. Him and Bam, I think, carried the load. They had a fun game yesterday. But the Miami Heat are another team where that's similar to the Bulls, that's similar to the Hawks. They're in literally the same ilk of team where it's like, yeah, they'll rip off 4 straight, then they'll lose 3 out of their next 4, then they'll lose 4 out of their next 5, and then so on. They'll win enough games to get back to 500, but they always wind up in the play-in. Ware's been out recently after Spo called him out. Whatever, dude. I don't know. I don't know what to believe with Kel'el Ware anymore. I think he probably has all the talent necessary. He does have all the talent necessary to be like a real feature all-star caliber guy. Does he have the work ethic? Maybe not. Not right now, at least. Spo's kind of openly telling us that part. But for them, like, they have some internal development going on. You know who I want to talk about for a second? Simone Fontecchio. He is top 5 in fouls drawn on 3-point attempts in the league this year. What? Does that make sense to anyone else? It doesn't make sense to me. That's all I wanted to bring up. I wanted to bring to your attention that Simone Fontecchio gets fouled behind the 3-point line more often than you or I or anyone would really expect. And refs believe him a lot. I don't know. Seems like a weird thing, but fuck it. Suns are getting put there. Oh my God, it's getting congested. You know what? I'll move the Celtics up just to do it. And I'll move Houston. No, I don't want to move Houston up. I don't have that much confidence in them. The Suns are staying there, though, because the Suns are a really fun team, but they are not a contender. Don't misconstrue. The Suns are a damn fun team, and if Devin Booker is fine, like that ankle doesn't bother him or anything, we're good. Like, this is a fun team to watch. Gillespie, Brooks, You know, they have all the irritants. Royce O'Neal can get a little irritating. Grayson Allen, of course, is an irritant. They have a team full of trolls, and then there's Mark Williams. Mark Williams is having an incredible year as well. The Suns are a fun team, a super fun team to watch. They get a lot of threes up. They do it in a hurry, too. They get a lot of threes up. They're a fun team. Coach Ott is up for Coach of the Year candidate. Like, he should be in the top 3, in my opinion. He deserves it. And this team is just fun. A team that I thought would be sellers at the deadline might mess around and be buyers around the edges. The Spurs are getting put up in May, see you in June. I don't think they're as much of a favorite because they're so young, and like most of their guys haven't seen a playoff series yet. Castle, Harper, Vassell, Wemby. Like most of their guys haven't seen a playoff series yet. Their most experience is Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox and Luke Cornett. He's won a finals, but they have a right mix of young guys and vets to make you believe. But for me personally, I'm kind of in the boat of like, but their best guys are young. Castle and Wemby are very young. You know, Keldon Johnson, even. Like, they're still very young and rough around the edges. And you see up and down play from them pretty consistently. Like, they'll rip off some really good wins and then blow a couple of easies. They're still in the second highest category, guys. Like this, I'm not trying to rip them here. I'm making it sound like I'm putting them, down here. But no, they're up at the top of May, see you in June. Like they have a real chance of making the finals. Don't misconstrue that either though. The Timberwolves are also going up here because like Anthony Edwards, he's great, and Julius Randle gives me some hope. He has some days where he looks unstoppable and some days where he is in his own head, and you make him think too much and all of a sudden his game's over. Shout out to Big Rude. That's Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert right there. I know Chet Holmgren was like a betting odds favorite a week ago. That's some horse shit. Rudy Gobert is DPOY. Naz Reid could be Sixth Man of the Year. Anthony Edwards could win Clutch Player of the Year. The Timberwolves could dominate the awards this season. All right, up next we have the Knicks. I guess I'll have to put them up there. Put some respect on it. They are a fine team right now. They played all right recently. Like the last two games, they've been good. Before that, straight up awful. Don't look at the last 20 games. Look at the last 2. All right, that's the real sample size here. Even their last game was scary, dude. They probably should have lost that game multiple times. I mean, Brunson missing 2 free throws late. What the fuck? OG driving to the back. OG did not need to take that layup. That was a bad call in general. It was a good call by the refs, but it was a bad call on OG Anunoby's part to drive to the rim and seek contact when you could have just dribbled it out. I don't know. The ending of that game was not ideal for the Knicks, but they've played all right enough recently, and they've won back-to-back. Put your hands up in the air and say, all right, we'll take what we can get. I know it's a small sample. You have to see more consistent winning, but at least it's some winning. Also, the fact that they tried to foul Maxey, and he missed, and then they tried to foul Embiid, and they called neither one. Objectively hilarious end to that game. Let's talk about the other end of that, Philadelphia. Man, I could put them in 500, dying at 500, but I think they're a little bit better than that. I was going to talk about them in my last video as a contender potentially, and I saw the record and was like, what's their record when Embiid plays 30 or more minutes? And it's very close to their same win percentage that they have normally. So my thought was like, what is holding this team back? They're awful inside the arc is what I'm realizing. They have one of the lowest 2-point shooting percentages in the league. That's not great, but that's also because Tyrese Maxey is their main guy, and he's not necessarily a great finisher through contact at times. Quentin Grimes is another guy there. Like, those guys don't hunt contact. Edgecombe does. Edgecombe will yam on you. He will murder you. Don't contest him at the rim. He will outjump you. But realistically, like, they struggle inside the arc. Getting Joel back should help that a little bit. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what's stopping them. I really don't know. I want to talk to Philly fans and figure out, like, what the fuck is the matter with this team? You look top to bottom and you see a decent roster. Paul George played like shit against the Knicks. I know that. But, like, this team isn't that bad. They're only 4 games over. Like, what's happening? I don't know. Portlandia. They're 7-3 in their last 10, but they are 500. I don't know what trades they're going to make, so I have to put them lower. I have to, because I don't know what trades they can even make. Are you going to trade Jeremy Grant? Like, their roster is hurt, and so they're kind of camped out there for the time being. They got Drew Holiday back recently, which has helped a little bit. But, like, they still shallow guard depth. You have Drew Holiday now, but Caleb Love is your backup. While he's hooping, he's just kind of chucking too. He's a shot chucker for sure. But I look around and I look at Portland and I see a decent team that just hasn't really pieced it together. I mean, since Thiago's taken over, they've been better, I guess. Since Thiago introduced the box, they've been better. Whatever the hell. I'm just going to leave it no context. A Blazers fan will know what I mean. But yeah, ever since Thiago brought his box to the locker room, things have been completely different for them. Shout out to City Sissoko. I called him Shitty Sissoko. He isn't great, so I could call him Shitty Sissoko, and I'm sure someone has before in person. Just not going to be me, because he seems like a nice guy. He's just not the greatest basketball player. Dallas Mavericks are next, and yeah, I think they're going to be bad, but in a fun way. They choked that game against the Lakers a few nights ago. That kind of made me mad a little bit because I wanted to see them win, a little scrappy win. But, like, I don't know, late game they struggled with shot creation. Brandon Williams chucked a bad three. Coop didn't touch the ball nearly enough. A couple of late game bad things that happened in Dallas, but overall, like, they are a interesting team. They're a fun team to watch. They're interesting. It's just they're not that good. They've played better ball recently. I think they're over 500 in their last 10, so that's something. And there's some young guys taking steps up, like Ryan Nembhard. Najee Marshall's not really a young guy, but he's played really well recently. PJ Washington, when he has played, has looked consistent. Like, they're bringing back Caleb Martin. Whatever the do you care about Caleb Martin? He had some great run against the Lakers, but personally, I hate the guy. Just my preference. I prefer Cody. Cody never beat my team in the Eastern Conference Finals. But either way, the Mavericks are a pretty mid team, but at least they're doing it in a fun way and letting Coop develop in his own way. Same with the other guys, Ryan Nembhard. Brandon Williams even has had some moments. They aren't a bad team, just kind of they aren't a great team. They aren't a terrible team either, though. As you can tell, there's no more teams left, and if you've enjoyed this video, you should like and subscribe. Stay warm, stay safe, stay inside, folks. It's snowing bad out. I'm going to go plow my driveway. I'll see you guys in the next one.